Top Rank gets more bad news, another upset. Congratulations to Josh Franco with Golden Boy and Robert Garcia gym. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. You know, I'm going to spare you for the intro, and I just want to talk about this fight briefly. Just watched a real good fight. It was on ESPN main event. Didn't catch the most of the card, but I wanted to see this fight. I knew Franco was a live dog. I told people, you know, in private conversations that this could be a tough fight. I didn't really know too much about Moloney, but I know people out here and, you know, being from California. So I had heard some stuff about Franco, so I paid attention. So I knew this would be a tough fight for Andrew Moloney. Now, congratulations to Josh Franco. Again, a very good fight. I'm not going to break down every single round, but what I seen was Andrew Moloney, he was doing good at first, but about round 5, right around there, after that point, he started to lose his way, and he didn't really have a good game plan. The bad for him is I didn't really like the corner advice. I heard what they were saying. Like, there was points in the fight, later in the fight, which I'll get to, where Moloney was getting hurt, and he was, in my opinion, he was starting to, the ebb and flow had left him a while ago, and he was losing round after round after round at a point in time. Again, right after round 5 or so, that's where it started to get ugly, and the ebb and flow was going towards the Franco side. And what I noticed was Moloney's team, they were saying stuff like box and move, and I understand that box and move maybe if you're hurt, but that's not good instruction to me, because you're not going to win the fight. You might as well just pack it up, because you're losing. The ebb and flow was getting robbed for you, and just because you're hurt doesn't mean you necessarily have to box and move. The reason being is boxing and moving, when you're moving and you're just fleeing, then one, that gives an impression to the judges that you're really losing the round, which you're hurt and you are losing. But beyond that, from the fighter perspective, is you're burning unnecessary energy. You're in the second half of the fight where fatigue starts to set in, and your legs, when you get hit, when guys get buzzed and rattled and stuff, that affects your legs. Your legs, spaghetti legs, noodle legs, chicken dance. You guys heard the terms, right? So you fleeing and moving all about and then trying to land a shot, that's not going to be enough to get you the round. And I understand you don't want to get your fighter knocked out. So there's a difference between box and move in a situation like that and, you know, stand your ground a little bit and stop burning unnecessary energy. So I really didn't like Moloney's instructions from his team. You know, it just wasn't good. Because, like, look at Sugar Shane Mosley versus Floyd Mayweather. Mayweather got rocked 2 times by Mosley in the second round. If you watch it, just watch round 2. He got rocked, and then he got hurt again, but the first one was crucial, right? Floyd got his bearings. He clinched and whatever. Floyd started actually doing good in round 2 and standing his ground and going into the fire, and he put the high guard up and started coming for Shane Mosley, which is it's almost like, I'm trying to give you guys an example. It seems like it would be the opposite of what you would want to do. Is like, hey, I'm hurt. Why would I walk into it? Why would I come into this guy's power? Things like that. But it's the risk that your opponent ain't necessarily expecting, and you don't have to burn up a bunch of energy, etc. You know, people always, here's an example. Have you ever seen a guy break up with a girl? She's done with him, and he wants to salvage it so bad. That guy starts, after she's broken up with him, when the woman makes a decision, that's what it's probably festered and built to that. So she broke up with you, and you won't give her space and the no contact, and you keep hitting her up and trying to apologize and trying to see her and sending gifts to her and stuff like that. So in your brain, you're thinking, hey, I got to win this girl back. But what you're doing is actually the opposite of what you should be doing, and it is going to have the reverse effect. You guys get what I'm saying with this analogy? So by pestering her when she's already going through a breakup just like you, and you can't control your emotions, you're actually turning the girl off even more, and it's pushing her on to the next guy, because you're annoying. She already made the decision, cut ties with you, and you won't let it breathe. Versus if she broke up with you and you do like the no contact and whatnot and give her space, she may end up missing you or feeling second thoughts or regret. So sometimes in life, what you're supposed to do doesn't seem like the obvious choice, and then the obvious choice will give you and yield opposite results. So for me, Moloney, he was hurt and he had already been moving throughout the whole fight, you know, for the most part. Him being hurt, he should have planted his feet and planted his feet and sat down on some punches to get this guy off of him. Franco was on his ass and it was coming and was relentless. Now on the flip side to Moloney's corner, shout out to Robert Garcia. I've always respected him as a fighter. See, I know Robert Garcia, the fighter, too. I paid attention to his career. I've always been a boxing fan. So Robert Garcia, 2-time champion, but he's also a great trainer. The contrary was the Franco corner was telling him everything. He's like, yeah, there you go. There you go. And Robert Garcia was yelling, and you can hear it because of the situation with no crowds and whatever. So you can perfectly hear the corner instructions. So maybe some of these conversations, unless they're mic'd up, we wouldn't hear. But given the circumstances, we can hear exactly what's being told. There's no crowd noise and a bunch of, oohing and ahhing. So I heard Robert Garcia, he was giving his fighter, props to him again, the perfect information. When it looked like he was starting to wilt Moloney, he was like, stay on him. Yeah, like put the punches together. And then he did it. And now he's a champion. So it was a good fight. Franco did his thing. I'll check out the viewership to see what this one did as opposed to some of the other top ranked ESPN cards. But it was another upset. Again, around round 5, it was pretty competitive up until that point. But Franco stayed with it. He was consistent, and you were seeing his confidence grow. Everything was clicking. His instructions from his corner were the right things. I thought Moloney started to lose his way and wilt, and he got dropped in the 11th round. I think it was the 11th round, and he was getting blasted. He got teed off with like solid shots that rocked his head back and jarred his head back. Now, I tell you on my streams, in my videos, my post-fight videos, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The other bad thing is, I don't know where Andre Ward was with this particular telecast, but the commentary is just horrible, especially without Andre Ward being present. And Tim Bradley, sometimes it just feels like he's talking just to be talking. And he was saying some stuff, and Moloney, just so you guys know, has a promotional pact with Top Rank. The other guy, Josh Franco, is with Robert Garcia, and he's a Golden Boy fighter. So this was like a co-promotional thing. So the home fighter, the house fighter, is Moloney, in this main event. And I felt the ESPN commentators did such a bad job. They kept, even when the ebb and flow was clearly favoring Franco, and he was doing everything, and like I said earlier, everything was clicking for him, they kept telling us that this was an extremely close fight. Again, it was a close fight, but about midway through the competition, the man started to pull away. And it's just, it's crazy that it's this hard to get solid commentary, non-biased commentary. Tim Bradley, he was like, oh, I don't know who's winning this fight. And I just can't do, on my channel, I can't do that. This is why I love the freedom that I have on this platform to just talk, because if Moloney's losing, he's losing. It don't matter if he's Top Rank or if he's with Nickelodeon, he's losing. That's, why is that so hard to admit? And furthermore, it's sad in boxing, because I even tweeted, I said, to me, there's another Top Rank upset, because they already had a couple upsets and they have fighter. Like it's actually Top Rank brought boxing back, but they've had a lot of mishaps. Today, a dude I know, Jamel Herring, he was supposed to fight first week of July. He said he tested positive for the Rona 19. So I wish him a speedy recovery, but he's off the card, right? There's a couple people, Michaela Mayer, Jose Pedraza's fight had to get rescheduled because the guy's Les Pierre's manager tested positive, so the whole fight got scrapped. They bumped up Gabe Flores. So they've had fights break up because of failed drug tests with this sickness, with the pandemic, the COVID shit. And they've also had a guy came in 5 pounds heavy, and now they're having upsets too. So I don't know. I don't know if it was in their best interest to rush back, because now Josh Greer just lost, and he was the one that they were pushing. And then Moloney, he lost his belt right here. But the commentary was just real bad to me, and I don't think it was fair. And it's sad in boxing that I have to tweet this, but I tweeted something to the effect of, we have another top rank upset unless they cook the cards, meaning the powers that be or whatever. And when they read the scorecards were bullshit. The scorecards, I'll show it on the screen, but the scorecards were giving Moloney rounds, and like, this is just off my memory. I could go back and watch this fight, but some of his worst rounds, before the actual knockdown, they gave it to Moloney some kind of way, and I thought they were clear Franco rounds. Like, if you look at the blue card, the one in the middle, round 8, I thought was clearly a Franco round, and somehow they gave it to Moloney. And I thought, again, like I said earlier, after about round 5, the fight started to become kind of repetitive, and Franco was taking over. So I'm like, how did 2 judges give Moloney round 8, and then you look at like round 7, that some of them gave him round 7. I'm like, how is he getting round 7 and 8 and rounds like that? Like, it's just, the scorecards are all over the place. So you guys watch the fight and let me know. The scorecards were super close, way too close. 114 to 113, 2 judges. It wasn't even that type of fight to me. It started like that, but it clearly went away from that when Franco, he was putting the combinations on. Moloney, he didn't seem to have a game plan in the deeper waters. And one of the downsides to what he was doing, you're fighting a Mexican American with a Mexican American trainer that has like kind of a American style of that. The American style kind of just looks good, flashy punches, like combination, work rate stuff. The training in America is different. We'll just put it that way. The trainers that you'll find in America, like Ronnie Shields, Freddie Roach, Roberto Garcia, all of them, Derek Jane, all of them, they're different than Rob McCracken in the UK or some of the Australian trainers. I'm not saying there's no good trainers over there, but they're going to teach you different things. Not only that, you're going to get different sparring in different regions. I know people right now that are in the Bay or in Stockton, and they have to go to LA, they got to go to Vegas, because in their city, wherever they're at, maybe there's not great sparring. So that's another thing. So I think the Moloney strategy was also bad, because he seemed to, like, he almost seemed in the first half of the fight like he wanted to be in pocket, but that was the worst position for him to be in this fight. And when he was fresher, he was taking those penitentiary chances and trying to bang in the pocket, but then it started getting hot in the kitchen, and he's seen that style favored Franco and Robert Garcia's style of training, or how he trained him. But as you start to get tired and fatigue and stuff like that, it started getting worse and worse, and Franco was breaking him down. So it didn't really make sense to go heads up with Franco's style and fight him in that style, to me. But nonetheless, good fight. The card, I didn't like how close they were, because I thought it was clearly the Franco show after about round 5. First couple rounds, those were competitive. But I think Moloney, I give him props. He showed a lot of heart. He got up. He wanted to continue. He didn't quit, nothing like that. So nothing negative to say about him. It just wasn't his night. He lost his belt, but Franco did that. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Also, give this video a like. We working. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.